Welcome everyone, this is Shadi Ablusif, your English trainer. In this series, we're going to talk about the TOEFL PBT, the paper-based test form of the TOEFL test. What I'm going to talk about in this series is the structure and written expressions section. Okay? So we have lots of skills in this section, and what I intend to do is to explain each skill in this series one by one. Now let's start by skill number 1, and let's move to this slide here. We see that skill number 1 is subject plus verb. Now, what we need to say is, in English language, every sentence needs to contain subject and verb. Now look at this sentence here. She plays tennis. Now I can say that this is a very nice sentence here. Why? Because I've got subject and I've got verb, so I have here a complete meaning. Okay, fantastic. So I've got subject, I've got verb. Now this is a very nice clause and it's a sentence at the same time. Now the problems that we face sometimes in the TOEFL test, that when we look at the sentence, sometimes we have a missing verb and sometimes we have a missing subject. Sometimes you don't have the subject, sometimes you don't have the verb. Sometimes you have double verbs and sometimes you have double subjects. Now all these are mistakes in the TOEFL PBT. Now let's move together to this example here. Now look at this. I can say the government to develop many projects in the country. The government to develop many projects in the country. Now we can say simply that the government is the subject. Now we have a subject here. But the main problem is that when we look at the sentence, we don't have a verb. Someone might say that this is the verb here, to develop. And the answer is, this is not a verb. This is infinitive plus 2, and when we have infinitive plus 2, it can never be the main verb. So this is not a verb, which means that this sentence is incorrect. Why? The reason is we have a missing verb and we need a verb to make this sentence correct. Now the verb could be the government tried to develop many projects in the country. I can say the government maybe has tried. I can say that the government tries. The tense is not that important here. The most important thing that I put the verb because this is what I need. So this is an example of a missing verb. Now that's a big mistake here. Something like that. Look at this one. Back to the board. And let's have another example. Something like did his best to live a better life. Now, did his best to live a better life. Now, if this sentence is correct, now we say no, it is not correct. It is incorrect. Now, what is the reason why this sentence is incorrect? Now, the reason is simple, because when you look at it, you see no subject. There is no subject here, because all what I have is this verb, but I don't have a subject. So in order to make this sentence correct, all I need is a subject. I can say, Jack did his best to live a better life, and in that case, we need this one to be small. So Jack did his best to live a better life. Now this is a correct sentence. Why? Because now I've got a subject. So this is the idea here. Now let's move to the slides and see some more examples. Now look at this. This is an MCQ question here, but also it is related to this skill. Now, we've got is planning, we've got a gap here, is planning to update the sales department. And then we have 4 choices. We've got last year, we've got in the evening, and we have the directors, and then we have the chief executive officer. Now I've got 4 choices here. Is planning to update the sales department. As a person answering the questions in the TOEFL PBT, what I need to focus on is the subject and the verb. So I need to look at this sentence first. Does it have subject and verb? That's the question that I need to ask myself. Now when I look, I see is planning. Now this is a verb. No doubt about that. That is the verb here, is planning. The question is, where is the subject? Well, actually I don't have a subject, which means that I need one. And because I need one, I need to go down to the choices I have here, and I need to find the subject I want. Now look at last year. That can never be a subject, because I can't say last year is planning, because the meaning here is not okay. How can last year be planning? So that doesn't work. In the evening, this is also time. It is time again. I can't say in the evening is planning. I still don't have a subject. The directors, oh, that could be a subject, but one more time it's not the right answer. Why? Because it's plural and then I have is. If I had are, that would be a right answer, but this is not the case here, which means that the only possible choice is the chief executive officer. This is the only answer for such a sentence like that, for such a question. This is the subject that we are missing. Now let's move to another slide here, and let's have a look at this one. We've got doctors for the new health centre in town. Doctors for the new health centre in town. And now we need also to focus one more time on what we need. We said that in the first skill we need subject and verb. Now let's have a look one more time. Do we have a subject? Yes, we do. We've got doctors. That's the subject. Do we have a verb? We have for the new health centre in town. Oh, no verb. So in this case we have a missing verb. Now what we need to do is to look for a verb. Now look at this. We've got A, B, C, D. Important. Is it a verb? No, it is not. Are necessary? Well, that's a verb. See next month. Is it a verb? No, never. In all fields, is it a verb? No, never. So I have only one verb in only one choice, which is choice number B. So this is the right answer. Are necessary, and the sentence will be doctors are necessary for the new health centre in town. Fantastic. Now let's see another one. Oh, that's my name. Fantastic, Shadi. I love it. Okay, Shadi, and then I have a gap, a new book on the Egyptian civilization. Shadi, a new book on the Egyptian civilization. Now I've got choices. Oh, before we move to the choices, now let's look at the sentence first. I need to look at a subject and a verb. This is what I need to do. Do I have a subject? Yes, we do. Yes, we've got Shadi here. That's a subject. So, do we have a verb? Now let's read together. A new book on the Egyptian civilization. No, we don't. There is no verb. So, I miss a verb here. Now, let's have a look. He is reading. Oh, there is a verb. He was reading. Oh, there is a verb. Has write. Got a verb here too. Has written. We've got a verb, which means that we've got verb in every one. So how can we decide? Look at this one here. He is reading. I don't only have a verb here. I've got a verb and a subject. Now the question is, do I need a subject? The answer is no, I don't, because I have a subject here. So how can I say Shadi he? Because either you say shady or you say he, but you can't say both of them. So the answer will be, this one will be wrong, because you can't say shady he. The second one, same idea. I've got subject. All what I need is a verb, but I don't have a verb here. I have a verb and a subject, so I can't take this one. Oh, and what about has right? The problem that I don't need two verbs. I need only one verb. And this one verb is the one I need. But I've got two verbs here. Someone might say, these are two verbs. Yes, they are two verbs. Because actually in English, and I want you to look at the board a little bit, when we use have, has, and had, the verb that comes after them is going to be past participle, the third form of the verb. But this is, I don't have this here, because in order for this one to be one verb, I've got to say has written. Well, this is not the case, because I have has right, okay? Because I need past participle after these to be one verb. Now, in this case, I've got two verbs, and that's what makes it a wrong choice, because I don't need two verbs, I need only one verb. So, the only possible answer is has written. This is the right answer here. Now, let's move to another slide and another question. And this is one also the questions that we have in the TOEFL PBT in the structure and written expression section. We've got correct or incorrect. Now let's read this sentence here. Lots of problems in the production section in London branch. Serious. Now let's follow the same strategy that we decided to follow before, which is look for subject and verb. Look for a subject and a verb. This is how you can decide if this is right or wrong. Now, lots of problems. Oh, that could be a subject. Fantastic. So we have a subject. Do we have a verb? That's the second question. In the production section, no verb here. In London branch, no verb here. Serious, well, no verb, which means I have no verbs here. That's what makes this sentence incorrect. So, what do I need to make it correct? I need to add a verb. Now, the right place to add a verb is this one here, this part. So I'm going to say, lots of problems in the production section in London branch are serious. So I need to add are here. Okay? This is the right thing. I can say where, no problem. But the main idea is I need a verb to be inserted here. Now, let's move to this sentence down there. The new book contains stories more than the previous book. The new book contains stories more than the previous book. Now, also we're going to look for a subject and a verb. Now, let's have a look at the subject. And the subject is the new book. Where is the verb? Is a verb. Oh, but there is a problem. Is a verb, and contains is a verb. Now, how many verbs do we have here? We've got two verbs, no connectors, which means that this is a big mistake. I need only subject and verb. I don't need double verbs. I've got an extra verb here. So, I have to say it like that. The new book contains. I don't need is here. I need one verb. So, the new book contains stories more than the previous book. Now, this is the right answer. So, I have to take care of having more than one verb, which is an extra verb. I don't need that. So, extra verb is a mistake. Extra subject is a mistake. Now, let's move to another slide here. And we've got these two sentences here, new ones. The new president gives a lot of promises to the public. They all do that. Okay, now look at this. Same idea. We are looking for a subject and a verb. This is what we need. Do I have a subject? Yes, we do. We've got the new president. That's the subject. Do we need a verb? Yes, we do need a verb. Okay, where is the verb? We've got has. Oh, that's a verb. We've got gives, oh my god, that's another verb. So the same problem, we've got double verbs here, has, gives, and the right answer has to be the new president has given. Because we said before, let's move to the board one more time, we said before that when we have, has, had, and we need to make something like the present perfect, so we need past participle, so this has, gives must be has, given, and in this case they are one verb. But when we move back to the slide, we've got has, gives, these are two verbs, not one. Okay, now let's move to this last sentence here, last question in skill number 1, and we've got the designed program for grown-ups. It develops their skills in a very effective way. Same strategy. Look for a subject and a verb. Now, where is the subject now? It's very clear. The designed program. That's a subject. For grown-ups, no. Okay, that's not a subject. We need a verb. So, the design program for grown-ups, it. Oh my god, that's another subject. So, I don't have one subject here. I've got two. And one verb. The verb is develops. But I've got the design program for grown-ups, that's a subject. It, that's another subject. And one verb. So, this sentence is incorrect. Why incorrect? Because I don't need double subjects. I only need one. And I have the design program for grown-ups, and I've got it. So the right answer is to delete it, to drop it, to omit it. So I don't need that one. So the correct sentence will be the designed program for grown-ups develops their skills in a very effective way. So that's all about this skill. That's all about this skill. Thank you very much for watching that video. That was the first skill of the TOEFL PBT, the written expression section. Thank you very much. That was Shadi Abu Yusuf, and see you inshallah in skill number 2. Bye. Assalamu alaikum.